Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
We're going to have a very interesting conversation with Roberta Hladek, who is the co-founder of the Energetic Matrix Church of Conscious, or better known, I always say Energetic Matrix, or AIM, the AIM program. So, I was saying to Roberta that here in South Florida, because she's really in Las Vegas, we are seeing a lot of medical marijuana, and a lot of people are interested in this. And because Roberta works in the field of energy, I was just curious what's going on out there in Las Vegas.
Well, lots of stuff.
Okay. Is it legal there?
Yes. Yes, I do believe it is. And we have a lot of the stores that you can go and pick it up. And from what I understand, I haven't gone into one of the stores. I was kind of going to, just because I wanted to see and be educated as to how it's working, because I know a lot of people that it's done great things for since it's been legalized. And it's not the same as when in the 70s and the 60s and stuff, everybody was smoking.
Well, that was recreation marijuana.
Yeah, and it's a little different than that. It's more just the medicinal effects of it, and you don't have that high effect, from what I understand. It's been helping. I have a friend of mine who was having seizures. They didn't know why. She started using it, and she said she's not having any of her seizures. It's been really good for the soldiers coming back from afar, Afghanistan, Iraq, etc., with PTSD. So it's been amazing. A lot of them are getting off pain medications, off of, sleeping medications. So it's been doing really, really well. And so you have it. Is it legal there too?
Well, yes, it is legal now, not recreational, but medical marijuana. So they have all sorts of rules and regulations. Has to be an MD who prescribes this. But then there are people growing what they call hemp, and they're not growing it here. But I know I have a friend growing it in Colorado, and they can bring that in and make a lot of the tinctures and things that apparently help people also. And there you don't need anything.
Mm-hmm. I know here, now don't quote me on this, but I don't think you need a marijuana card like you used to have a card, and the
need
doctor
one here, right?
Prescribed that for you.
Right.
I think here all you need is your ID, and you have to show ID to get it. And from what I understand, there's all different things. So you just tell them, the practitioner or whoever, the dispenser, I guess, explain to them what your issues are, and they will help you find something that will help you. And they have edibles and all sorts of, it's quite fascinating. I really want to go into one of the stores and just look around and talk to somebody and see what it's all about.
You should do that. You absolutely
knowledgeable about it. As far as its effect on the AIM program, there would be no adverse effect, I should say.
Right.
It's like any other medicine that you would take. It's not going to interfere in the energy transmission that we are doing.
Right.
That would interfere with it, but it's been doing fabulous things.
That's
very
what they
remarkable.
Say. Mm-hmm. I know this morning we're getting advertising from one of them, and they gave me a gummy, which has, I don't know if they said 10% of something. Not real. It's not it's part of the hemp plant. And I haven't felt anything all day, but people come in every day, they get their stuff, and it's and I don't have anything that I can attribute, to being wrong that I'm looking for, but I am so curious about it myself.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to, sometimes I have trouble sleeping. So I thought, wow,
That's
you
right.
get a lot on your mind or whatever. And a friend of mine said his wife uses it for sleep, and he said she sleeps great, and she wakes up in the morning, she's very refreshed. She doesn't have that groggy feeling.
I've heard the same thing. I've heard that exact same thing about that. That's something you could do for sleeping. be interesting to try it. You don't have to, it's not the medical marijuana, it's the hemp, whatever the oil and what they do with that. It's I forget the terminologies like TCB or some very interesting words. But I would definitely go and look at it and see what you think.
Yeah, and they're saying that it'll reduce anxiety, inflammation,
exactly,
cancer cells. It can help slow the growth of tumors, and I know a lot of cancer patients use it when they're having a hard time eating.
Right.
That there's certain ones that you can get that will help your appetite. Now that's the one I don't want.
Right.
I don't want that one.
I don't either. There's see what it says is I have an advertisement from one of them, and it does talk about helping with chronic pain, epilepsy, Parkinson's, severe arthritis, Crohn's disease. So, I'm wondering how your AIM program can work with this. I don't mean you can do anything, but if you will see on your chart and your energy levels when someone is now taking some of this, the cannabis, I guess they call it, how it's going to change. That'll be an interesting experiment, won't it be?
Yeah, it could be. I don't know that I probably have participants taking it that are on the program that I don't even know. But
right.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see. I don't think it would interfere at all as far as slowing down the AIM process.
No, I think it could be maybe better.
Like that.
It could maybe, because I was thinking of the people, the challenged people that we've talked about before that you've been working with. And I wonder if it would help people who have some of those diseases or, that they're, whether it's Down syndrome or some of the other situations.
Yeah, I thought about that too. I thought maybe with the autistic kids, seems like it would be better than some of the drugs that a lot of them are taking to help them. So you never know. It would be really interesting to see. We'll have to get some test subjects.
It might be really very, very special. Talking about autism, last night I watched The Good Doctor. Have you seen that?
I keep missing it.
Oh, no.
So I have Netflix now, so I'm going to see if there's previous shows on there
please
and then I
do
can
that.
watch it.
It was one of the very best ones. It's very interesting. But this doctor who is autistic is just a gem, and he's strange, but everybody knows that when they can't figure something out, his brain is going so fast, and he always comes up with the solutions.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I love the fact that they did a show like that. So
I do too.
So you need to go and do that.
Yes, I do. My mom watches it religiously.
Oh, she does. So you can ask her about last night.
Yeah, and she's always telling me about it. She's, she keeps telling me, you have to watch it, and then I forget what night it's on. And
I saw it last night. I have to assume that if I saw it here on a Tuesday night, it must be everywhere else on a Tuesday night.
And I remember I started flipping through the channels last night, and then I got sidetracked, and I started reading some other stuff. And
it really is. So I want you to go through some of the parts of the program that are very interesting. When someone first signs up, you always put them on a certain scale to see what their power, what their
life force?
Yeah, the life force is. And how do you determine that?
We have a scale that we've devised an algorithm with numbers, and it goes from way below 0 all the way up to 100, and we call it life force. And life force is your inner strength to overcome adversities in your daily life. Your chi, or they have other names, prana, and all these other things, but we call it life force, and that's your inner strength. So how much power do you have to fight off whatever's going on in your life on a daily basis? Maybe it's a flu, a cold, stress, what have you. And so when I get a new participant coming on the program, I test their photograph to see what their life force is. And it gives me an idea of where they're starting. Now, right now, most people are starting at, and don't let this scare you, but 0.30 and usually about a 4. And then within the first 5 or 6 months, they usually get up to about 70. And then by the 11th month, they're usually at 100. And if they're not, then I want to know why. But also when I test them for life force and they're first coming on the program, I'm also testing to see is there any barriers that are keeping this participant from accepting the energy or from the energies having an effect on them to raise their life force. And the only things that really stop it, or not stop it, but slow it down so they don't go as fast, are medications. Usually it's chemotherapy, those kind of really strong medications. Sometimes those will slow it down, sometimes they don't. And then the other one is if they have the frequencies that are similar to something like a parasite, then those will slow it down a little bit. But otherwise, and even those with those other two issues, their life force still rises. And it just takes sometimes a little bit longer. Things stand in the way.
All right. So my question, and they're going to ask you, what do you do for them that when they start so low and then within the 6 months or a year they go up to 100? Is it just the power of the energy or you've just gotten rid of a lot of the negative forces in their life?
It's as we're clearing out our hereditary dispositions, that's what helps us to clear out that stuff and raise our life force. And what we call those energies are like something like a disempowering energy. It's taking your power away from you. It's holding you back. So it's kind of like the door's been opened, the blind's been pulled. Those frequencies start clearing out, and you're able to come into your own power. And that's what strengthens you. And each time frequencies leave you, your life force rises. So that's what it's doing. It's clearing out all that hereditary dispositions for heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and those kind of things. As long as we have those frequencies in there, we're able to overcome them.
I see. Oh, okay. I just wanted everyone to understand that. We're talking with Roberta Hladek, who is actually the co-founder of this whole organization, and we always call it the AIM program. If you want more information, go on the web and you'll see what they do. And I suggest that you become a member. I have been a member for many years, and I do attribute my strong energy and a lot of all the good things that happen in my life to being on that program. So people always ask me about, how do you get all their energy and how do you do this? And I said, well, look up the AIM program on the web and just see what it is. And I think that it would be wise for you to join. So I'm certainly hoping that people will do it. Do you get a lot of referrals? Is that the way that people join?
Yes. We get referrals from other participants, from books that have written about us. Wayne Dyer wrote a section about us in his book, A Spiritual Solution for Every Problem. He's got a good blurb in there about us. And Kevin Trudeau's talked about us. The Secret Teachers have talked about us.
And a lot of radio shows I know that you do.
Yeah. This one, we get referrals from you from time to time, too.
Good.
And then sometimes it's just people perusing. We have ads running on Facebook, and we have Twitter and all those other things that.
And what do you say? What is the main feature? What do you say in your ads?
Well, usually I go with, most people are tired and they don't really know why. They're not reaching where they want to be. Maybe it's, they feel like they're being held back. So I try to go with those kind of things and say, are you being held back? Do you feel like you're not in your own power? Sometimes those blurbs, though, you have to come down to the people that aren't in the, Stephen used to always call it the woo-woo world, and he was always calling us the woo-woo people. And
that's funny.
Yeah, years ago they used to do that. But I try to stay with words and meanings of things that everyone can comprehend or are used to hearing. So fatigue is one. Are you tired? Are you not reaching your goal? Are you in a nowhere relationship? Are you having trouble with relationships? And that's not only romantic relationships, but it's also your work relationships every day that you deal with. Are you having difficulty there? Are you finding, that things are harder than they should be? Do you feel like you're swimming upstream instead of, with the flow? So those kind of things is where we try to go with our ads and go from there. A lot of people, what's really funny is we are so in tune with our pets that a lot of us will put our pet on. Some people will put their pet on before they'll go on. And they'll say, well, my, Hazel, like our kitten in here, Hazel hasn't been feeling good, and so I want to get her on the program. And so a lot of times our facilitators will go, well, don't you want to be on the program? Well, I want to see how Hazel does first.
That's hysterical.
It's really cute.
It is.
And then a lot of people, have their homes on, their businesses and things like that. So sometimes they'll go there first and they should be going with themselves.
I know it.
We have a family plan. You can put up to 5 people on it. It's a great discount. And then you can get the whole family on, the cat, the dog, the house, the boat, whatever.
Oh, my heavens.
Well,
that's really interesting about the pets. Well, pets are so important. They're like the family, and I guess they want to see. It's like an experiment. Well, if my pet starts to talk, then I'll get on it, right?
Exactly. Well, Hazel's just about talking, I swear. One of these days, I keep telling her, just tell me what you want.
Oh, right. Oh, you know what she wants. She's psychic. You're both psychic into each other, right?
Yes, she is. She's a sweetheart.
So in Las Vegas, well, you don't really live in where do you live in Las Vegas?
Well, I actually live out in the southwest, which would be out towards the Red Rocks or in Summerlin, that area. A lot of people, when you say you live in Las Vegas, they think we live at the Bellagio
right.
and we lay around the pool drinking martinis all day.
Yeah, of course, right.
But we don't. We're, my girlfriend came from Canada and never been here before, and she goes, I can't believe there's actual houses here.
Isn't that funny? I'm sure that's true. Are you also having a serious water problem there?
We always have had a water problem. Mm-hmm. So we don't wash our cars, and, we have to go to car washes where they have everything recirculated or however they do that. And we're very conscious of water, yes. We get rebates if we take out our lawn and put in synthetic lawn or what they call desert landscape, which is rocks and cactus and stuff like that. So I've taken out all my lawn and I've put in synthetic lawn because I like the way it looks. And so I've done that. So yes, we're all very, very conscious of the water shortage.
And so you drink a lot of bottled water, I'm sure.
Yeah, we do drink bottled water. I try not to. What bothers me is the plastic bottles.
I know. I don't get plastic.
Put it in.
I always get glass. I always get things in glass.
Yeah, or if they could put them in like a carton, like a milk carton, If they could put it in something like that. And I've seen like a lot of the milk products, like the fancy creamers and stuff, are coming back.
Well, coconut water is not in is not in plastic. It's in, like what you said. It's whatever.
It's in those little cardboard cartons or whatever there.
Yeah, I don't know why they can't do it, because it's obvious that the plastic is horrible. And I just heard a story about plastic, that someone invented something that when you use plastic, that about in 3 weeks, when it's destroyed, it just disappears compared to what we're seeing with all the plastic all over the world.
Wow.
Yeah, I just heard that somewhere on one of the NPR or something, and that would really be, I wish I had discovered that.
Yes. Yes, for sure.
It's a big problem with that. Well, let's go back over some things that I always like to talk about this. We always know that autism, Down syndrome is a very, very difficult disease for the families, especially. We have no idea what the actual people feel themselves. I don't know if they've been interviewed and asked, how is this for you? What do you feel like? Or, have we ever interviewed a Down syndrome person and asked them?
We have interviewed the parents.
Right.
Of some of the kids.
Right. But I don't think I've ever heard an interview on someone that actually has this disease.
No, but we have interviewed autistic children and adults, and they have told us how they're feeling.
Oh, really?
And yes, we have. We have a man. I think he's in his late 60s. He might be in his 70s now, and he was actually, I believe he lives in Florida, and he's actually in a home, and they train them and they work during the day to get into society. And for years and years, his job was a towel folder in the laundry. And he has been able to, since he's been on the program, and he's been on for quite a while, a few years, he's moved up to where he lives alone on the campus, so he's monitored, so he's not away from the people that need to be able to help him if he should need help. And he's able to cook on his own. And what they say by cooking is using a microwave. And that's huge for him. And he was so happy about it. And they actually did an interview on TV. One of our facilitators down there, Cynthia McCullen, she showed us the interview. She sent it to me. It's been years ago. I'll have to see if I can find it. But it was fascinating with him and how well he was doing.
And what did he talk about?
He talked about how he was able to do things on his own, and he had a girlfriend, and all things that were changing for him, and how he felt really good, and he felt more present. And then we have a girl who's been on since she was like 9 years old, and she's now 21 or 22. She's gone to college, and she got married, I think, a few months ago. And she's doing fabulous, just fabulous. And she said without the program, she would never have made it to where she is. Now, we do have to understand, too, there's degrees of autism.
Sure.
So some are a little bit more advanced than others. Some have more challenges than others. So it's like anything else. But I can't see anyone with a challenge or not a challenge that can't benefit from the AIM program. I don't see anyone, because everything is energy, and we all are reacting to energies around us. There isn't anybody that is just flying around and not having any issues at all. Not one of us. I wish we could say that. And not that the AIM program is going to do that either, but it's sure going to make things a heck of a lot easier for you. And for these people with challenges like this, it's like, I don't know, if I had a child or a brother or sister that had a challenge like this, I would definitely have them on AIM, because it can't hurt. It can only help.
Oh, right, and it can do so much. I mean, it isn't just, simple things. I mean, you've shown this and you've proven this with whether it's serious cancers or things that people have given up on. And I'll tell you one thing, and I don't believe that you could do this, but one of my last interviews was with an author, and the name of the book is The Mind Reader. Mm-hmm. And the story is, in a sense, that he was a dentist. Now, it's now fiction, but in the sense it started out really as a real thing, that he was a dentist and he had a tremor. I guess he was in his 60s or 70s. He had a tremor so bad he couldn't remain being a dentist. So he went, and someone told him about a witch doctor. I don't call it a witch doctor. A healer is what they called him. Mm-hmm. And this healer brought in bones and did some funny thing. And the next day, the man's tremor went away. But as an outcome, he became a mind reader. It's a fascinating book. And I was thinking about that we can't call your organization a healer, because that's not what you really do. but you do have healing energy, right?
Yes, we do. And we transmit that energy to you, and then it's up to you to take the energies and do what works for you.
Not everyone is capable of that, though. You know, Roberta? And do you ever help them to do that?
Well, I think everybody is capable of it. It's just that some of us are used to being in a particular state, and that's a comfortable state for us to be in, and it's scary to go out of that box. So I think that's where they don't either, the AIM program doesn't resonate with them, or they're afraid of it, or whatever you want to say about that. And I've seen when people have come on the program, and I've talked to them before, and they'll say, oh, my wife or my husband wants me on this thing. I don't know, I don't know if I really want to do it. And they'll go on the program, and they'll just deny having any changes at all. Tell me it doesn't work, feel the same. They'll be very flip about it. And then after a while, all of a sudden, they'll say, you know what? It is changing. I am changing. I feel something different. Something will hit them, and it breaks down those walls, and they finally say, there is something to this.
Well, with that, we're going to let you go and enjoy your weather. Hopefully it's nice.
It's beautiful today.
Okay. And we want to thank you so much, and I look forward to getting some of those articles so I can start putting them into Boomer Times.
Oh, great. Well, thank you very much, and have a great day today.
Same to you, Roberta. Bye.
Bye-bye.